You fired her for helping a student? Unbelievable. Mia, a dedicated teacher, noticed one of her students, Ethan, had been wearing the same tattered shoes for weeks. Without hesitation, she bought him a new pair. But this simple act of kindness cost her the job she cherished. Just 2 days later, a mysterious phone call would change her life forever. Hi everyone, welcome to Mystic Stories. Today, I'm excited to share a heartwarming new story with you. Mia loved her job as a teacher. She had always wanted to make a difference in children's lives. She worked at a small school in her hometown, where many students came from low-income families. This school wasn't like the others, resources were always limited, and it was often overlooked. But Mia believed every child deserved a chance to succeed, no matter their background. One morning, as she prepared her class, she noticed Ethan sitting quietly at his desk, unlike his usual cheerful self. Mia sensed something was wrong. She walked over to him and gently asked if he was okay. Ethan looked down at his shoes, old, worn out, with holes, and his socks peeking through. He tried to hide them, but Mia had already noticed. That afternoon, after all the children had left, Mia couldn't stop thinking about Ethan's shoes. She imagined how embarrassed and uncomfortable he must have felt. Knowing his family was struggling financially, she wanted to help in any way she could. On her way home, Mia stopped by a shoe store and bought a new pair for Ethan, hoping to make a small but meaningful difference. The next day, Mia quietly handed Ethan the shoes before class. His eyes lit up with joy, and he smiled for the first time in days. He thanked her softly, and Mia felt a warmth in her heart. But little did Mia know, her kind gesture hadn't gone unnoticed. Soon, something unexpected would happen. A few days later, she was called into the principal's office. Mia had no idea what it was about. As she entered, she saw Principal Grayson sitting behind his desk with a stern expression. Nervously, Mia took a seat. Mia, Principal Grayson began, I've been informed that you bought a pair of shoes for one of your students. Is that true? Mia nodded, explaining, yes, I bought Ethan some shoes because his were falling apart. I just wanted to help. Principal Grayson sighed and leaned back in his chair. I understand your intentions, but you've broken school policy. Teachers aren't allowed to give personal gifts to students. It could create complications, and we have to be fair to all students. Mia's heart sank. She never imagined something as simple as buying shoes could be against the rules. She explained that her only intention was to make Ethan feel comfortable, but the principal's expression remained serious. I know your heart was in the right place, he said, but we must follow the rules. Unfortunately, the school board has decided to take action. Mia's hands trembled. What kind of action? She whispered. Principal Grayson looked at her sadly. Mia, I have no choice but to let you go. Those words hit her like a heavy blow. Fired for helping a student? Mia couldn't believe what she was hearing. She had always given her best to the school, and now, because of one small act of kindness, her career was over. As she packed her belongings that day, Mia felt a deep sense of injustice. Was it wrong to care? Was it wrong to help someone in need? That evening, she returned home feeling lost and unsure of what to do next. Her job had meant everything to her, and now it was gone. The next morning, as Mia sipped her coffee, her phone rang unexpectedly. The caller ID displayed an unknown number. Hesitant, she answered. Hello, she said softly. Is this Mia? A polite voice asked. Mia didn't recognize it. Yes, this is she. Who's calling? The man on the other end introduced himself. My name is Daniel Carter. I've heard about what happened at your school. Mia's heart raced. Who was this man, and how did he know about her situation? I'm a businessman, Daniel explained. I recently learned how you helped your student, Ethan, by buying him new shoes. I know you were fired for that act of kindness, and I think it was deeply unfair. Mia, still in shock, didn't know what to say. Thank you, she finally replied, her voice trembling. but I'm not sure what to do next. Teaching was my life. After a brief pause, Daniel continued, I believe in people like you, Mia, people who act out of kindness, expecting nothing in return. That's why I'd like to offer you an opportunity. Mia's eyes widened. What kind of opportunity? She asked. I run a foundation that supports teachers and helps children in need. I've been searching for someone with a heart like yours to join us. I'd like to offer you a job. Mia couldn't believe what she was hearing. After everything that had happened, here was this chance to continue helping children on a much larger scale. Mia was overwhelmed. Could she really trust this opportunity? Unsure, she decided to visit Ethan's neighborhood to clear her head. When she arrived, Ethan's mother greeted her warmly, thanking Mia for her kindness. You didn't just give him shoes, his mother said, you made him feel special. That's something money can't buy. Later, Mia reflected on Daniel's offer. Could she really leave behind her teaching career for something new? That night, her phone rang again. It was Daniel. I hope I'm not calling too late, he said. No, it's fine, Mia replied. I just wanted to see if you've made a decision, Daniel asked. Taking a deep breath, Mia responded, I've thought about it, and I'd like to accept your offer. Weeks later, Mia found herself standing in front of the Carter Foundation headquarters, ready to begin her new role. What had started as a small act of kindness had now grown into something so much bigger, and Mia's life would never be the same. As Mia entered the Carter Foundation's sleek and modern building, she felt a mix of nerves and excitement. The foundation's mission was clear, to support teachers and children in need across the country, and now Mia was going to be a part of something far bigger than just her classroom. She was warmly welcomed by a team of passionate individuals dedicated to making a difference. Daniel had arranged everything, and soon Mia was fully immersed in the Foundation's projects, helping to shape programs that would provide essential resources to children in low-income communities. For the first time in a long while, Mia felt fulfilled again. She realized that her reach had expanded far beyond her small classroom, and she was making a difference in the lives of many more children than she ever could have imagined. One afternoon, as she worked on a new initiative to provide school supplies to underfunded schools, she received an email from Daniel asking to meet for lunch. He mentioned there was something special he wanted to discuss. Curious, Mia agreed, and they met at a cozy little cafe downtown. As they sat across from each other, Daniel smiled warmly. Mia, I've been so impressed with your work since you joined us. Your passion and dedication are exactly what this foundation needed, he said. Mia blushed slightly, grateful for his kind words. Thank you, Daniel. It's been an incredible experience. I never imagined my life would change so drastically. Daniel leaned forward, his expression thoughtful. That's actually what I wanted to talk to you about, he said. I've been thinking about starting something new within the foundation, something that reflects the values you've demonstrated, the power of simple acts of kindness. I'd like to create a scholarship fund in your name. Mia's eyes widened in surprise. In my name? She asked, taken aback. Yes, Daniel nodded. We'll call it the Mia's Heart Fund. The scholarship will provide not just shoes, but clothing, school supplies, and additional support for children in need across the country. Your story and the way you helped Ethan have inspired so many people, and I want this program to carry that spirit forward. Tears welled up in Mia's eyes as she listened. The idea that her simple act of kindness could lead to something so impactful was overwhelming. I don't know what to say, Mia whispered, her voice thick with emotion. Daniel smiled softly. You don't have to say anything. This is just the beginning of something beautiful. You've already made a difference, and now your legacy will help countless others. Over the next few weeks, the Mia's Heart Fund was officially launched, and it quickly became one of the Foundation's most successful initiatives. The program provided essential resources to children in need, and Mia found a renewed sense of purpose in her work. As Mia attended the opening ceremony for the scholarship fund, she looked out at the audience and saw the faces of the children and families who would benefit from the program. The emotions flooded back as she realized how far she had come. From losing her teaching job for a small act of kindness to standing here, helping children all across the country, her journey had truly come full circle. One of the parents approached Mia after the ceremony and said, "You don't know how much this program means to families like mine. Your kindness has reached further than you'll ever know." Mia smiled, deeply touched. "Thank you," she said softly. "I just wanted to help." The parent nodded, "And you did, more than you can imagine." As the weeks turned into months, Mia's work with the Carter Foundation continued to grow. She became a leading voice for change in education and child welfare, and her efforts helped bring attention to the struggles faced by underserved children. Her journey had started with a single pair of shoes, but it had evolved into something so much larger. One day, Mia received a letter from Ethan's family. It was a heartfelt note thanking her for what she had done. Ethan's mother explained how much the shoes had meant to her son, not just because they were new, but because they made him feel like someone cared about him. "You made a difference in his life that goes beyond the shoes," the letter read. "Thank you for showing him kindness when he needed it the most." Mia read the letter with tears in her eyes, reminded once again that even the smallest acts of compassion can change lives. She kept the letter on her desk as a constant reminder of why she had taken this path. It wasn't just about providing material goods, it was about showing children that they mattered, that someone cared for them. In time, Mia's story became known far and wide. She was invited to speak at conferences, and her work was featured in various publications. But despite the recognition, Mia remained humble. For her, it had never been about fame or accolades. It was always about helping children and making the world a better place, one act of kindness at a time. Years later, Mia stood on stage at a national conference, delivering a speech about the importance of compassion in education. She reflected on her journey, how one small decision had led her down a path she never could have imagined. As she finished her speech, the audience rose to their feet in applause. Mia smiled, her heart full. She had found her true calling, and it was more fulfilling than she had ever dreamed. At the end of the day, Mia returned home to her small, cozy apartment. She sat down by the window and looked out at the city lights. Her journey had been full of challenges, but she had learned that even in the darkest times, there was always hope. Kindness, she realized, was the greatest gift anyone could give, and it had the power to change the world. As the years went by, the Mia's Heart Fund continued to grow, helping children across the country and inspiring others to pay it forward. Mia's legacy was one of compassion and generosity, and she knew that her story was just one of many. In the end, she understood that while one person may not be able to change the world entirely, they can still make a world of difference to someone in need. Thank you for watching today's story. If Mia's journey of compassion and kindness inspired you, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more heartwarming stories from Mystic Tales. And before you go, check out this next video on the power of kindness and how even small acts can create lasting change. Let's continue to spread positivity together.